When so biniji ekpa manyawale nyo ye afi yakpe enyo nyongmai enyo ke ekpamli na shemo ni shanene wobwana wokebahanye shemo ne keji oti Facebook ke YouTube obanya ko ye Mbn 360 minaja modu te shidana obabote sajamie nyaha wokwa oti eni ye shemo ekomen Mahin Yellow Mahama Epia Jamaica Reparatory Justice ni femo yise Kenya sa ni femo di enchenie Eha King Charles Niji Eteno Shika Kejara Yuli Sajamie Ghana Shikato he wulu elo Bank of Ghana Governor Ewoshi Keshi ni Chumoi ni Shika Sajin Fe Efite ni ehi he noko femo wamo lo GMO Ni ye manse sajam ni hwe Pakistan kenachi efo manse Adafitswaa lawyer dichumo niji media reporting no. Sajane meke ikoko me ahijino nyabanu yeshanine Adafitswaa no. Agbene Sanjien di enchemli botimone. Maye nyelo John Dramani Mahama ewie ake Ghana damo Jamaica se Kenya amesani femo wulu alo petition ni ameto Keyaha King Charles niji enyono kemi bisamo alo reparatory justice kehan ni ahini awu ameblemako.
Fully supports the petition on slavery Jamaica proposes to soon submit to King Charles III. Right Honorable Prime Minister, Madam Speaker, Right Honorable President, Honorable Members. While we must never forget the injustices of history, neither must we allow them to imprison us. The story of people of African descent is not simply one of suffering. It is equally a story of resilience, excellence, and enduring achievement. It is a story of civilizations that advance human knowledge, of freedom fighters who challenged oppression, of innovators who expanded the frontiers of science and technology, of artists whose creativity enriched global culture, and of statesmen and women who inspired nations to believe in the possibilities of freedom and self-determination.
Bansolo ni kwa ni kasemo sajiano anunyamo Haruna Idrisu ewiake kuhe ni awole ke ha UNESCO ba kwa ke wo ma hiwale ye ni femo yamli keji ibale manse egbejano to ke ha ni kasemo jenshipamo niji science ke mansajin.
So what has been inaugurated, for which you are a part, occupies a significant and unique place within the governance of the Commission. As provided in Section 5, it is the highest decision-making body of the Commission. So this is the highest decision-making of the UNESCO Commission of Ghana. I'm encouraged by the diversity of experience on either side of the table as I see, and I believe that you bring your rich experience and the various disciplines in the sectors that you have specialty and experience to bear. And we remain committed. Those of you who are familiar, the UNESCO headquarters is in Paris and France. So at some point where discussions will be going on there, one or two of you may represent the state or the republic, depending upon what matter is being discussed in relation to science, culture, and education, and depending upon your expertise.
Onupa ini yo hiwale pakpana mogbini eke kokobo mi ha amenichuloi kemishi amehini amekefon artificial intelligence niji AI no yenuchumomli na mewoshi ake ni amlinkwemo ni fa ya megbefa banya ekeme ya wala awu hekpata momli.
It's a very important evolution, in human life or in human history that we cannot do without AI. Today we are talking about AI in the health delivery system, which is key. One important fact I want to make it clear to everybody is that can use AI to actually detect any diagnosis and then be able to apply the right medication. So it is of utmost importance. But as we are very much aware, there are inherent challenges, and therefore it behoves governments to come out with the right regulation framework, right regulatory framework and rules and laws to be able to actually govern. If we don't have strong regulations to govern AI, evolution, it will lead to abuses, and the consequences may not be too pleasant. So the only way the government can do is to immediately come out with regulations, laws to be able to regulate the whole issue of AI. Oh, definitely it can be abused. You can even apply AI to do the wrong diagnosis. It is there. You can use AI to apply the wrong medication. So it is very important, as I said, is for AI, there is always the human factor, which is very key. You should not rely absolutely on AI, interventions. There is a need for you to cross-check your facts. And therefore, these regulations, in my view, will come a long way to regulate some of these, lapses or some of these weaknesses that we may have identified. Health workers should embrace AI, but they should do that with care. We should not ignore our human skills, at the expense of AI. The human factor is key, and therefore you apply the right tools for AI, and you must also use your own skills and knowledge which you have acquired in your professions to be able to apply to put this together effectively.
Onukpa Keha Responsible AI Lab ye Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology KNUST Wolongpache Jerry John Ponyo Mincha Keha Wamom Yanuchumom Linkeha Nanu Bajano Nibi Yegana hum.
We recognize that one of the most difficult bottlenecks as far as the health space is concerned is adoption. Every new thing, people have skepticism and all that. So we also work with key actors in the space in providing literacy and education to ensure that many more people get into that space. The reality is that right from the UN, you recognize that when it comes to AI, the key enablers are data, you need compute, you also need very good internet and infrastructure. And what we recognize is that if we want to develop AI-powered solutions, we actually do not have that harmonized data to be able to develop indigenous solutions. Additionally, where the solutions have even been developed, we do not have a fair distribution with reference to infrastructure. So what is in the urban centers, you don't have same replicated in the rural communities. And so there are some who may benefit and others who will not. And that requires some intentional action to ensure that we provide basic infrastructure to be able to roll out AI-powered solutions.
Obuasi Municipal Police Commander Superintendent Mahama Idrisu eha school bi ashiwo kenko afabanfo sajayi kenye na agba ni wo ehino ye Obuasi Senior High Technical School ni yo Ashanti Kpokpa no say.
You are our children. We have children like you. Remember, you are here to learn. Is that not right? Your main course or your main focus being in this campus is to learn. Is that right? You should also remember that you came from individual houses. And if you involve yourself in any case and you've been arrested, you'll be taken alone. So don't involve yourself in activities that will not bring any meaningful thing to you in future. Like they said, all that you are doing, you've been monitored. You have files and you have records. All those things will go against you. One day you become a minister or you become a president, you become a doctor. All these things will go against you. Please, with all due respect, whatever is the problem, calm down. The police are here because of you. Since yesterday, I've not slept. My commanders and other people, nobody slept because of you. We want to make sure that you are protected. Is that right? So don't take the law into your hands to cause damage to the school buildings. They are for you. If you cause damage to it today, tomorrow when you can, where will you sit?
Yes, Sajin Koko Miamlie, Chief of Staff, Dr. Julius Debra, Echeke Hafan Femo Ke Akuchombi Ahe Keni Femo Mliwo Jobang, Kehani Chumoni Bayano, Yevota Lake below concessioning of the non-hydro.
There is no sword to be cut this morning, no ribbon to unveil, but nations are often changed by the painstaking decisions made in rooms like this. Decisions about law, finance, governance, risk, responsibility, and public value. Let me also be clear. A concession is not a disposal of public inheritance. Properly structured, it is a disciplined way to mobilize capital, expertise, and operational strength whilst protecting VRA's statutory mandate and the enduring interests of the Ghanaian people. The agreement you begin negotiating today must therefore be legally sound, commercially credible, transparent, and bankable. They must provide certainty to investors and assurance to the citizen. They must protect the VRA systems, respect the communities whose lives are bound to it, and ensure that local people become participants and beneficiaries rather than being spectators to development taking place around them. We should move with urgency, but urgency must never become carelessness. Speed and diligence can and must travel together. I commend my brother Guzi and the entire 24-hour Secretariat team for the imagination and persistence that have brought us to this point. I thank the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund for bringing its project development and financing strength to this national undertaking. I also commend the board, management, and staff of VRA. VRA has been the faithful custodian of Ghana's most important national asset. Its experience, institutional memory, and continuing involvement are indispensable to the success of this corridor. To the negotiating teams, your work carries a public trust. Be rigorous, be fair, listen to one another, resolve difficulties with the national interest in view. The quality of the framework you produce will determine whether this vision attracts capital, survives political cycles, and delivers value for generations to come. Having had the privilege of serving President Mahama closely in 2 administrations, I know the seriousness with which he approaches national development. He is patient enough to understand complex systems and impatience with excuses once the direction is clear. So please be mindful of that.
Kewancha Shemoya no Administrator ke ha Ghana Medical Trust Fund Niji Mahama Cares Mami Obobia Daku Opoku Miwo Majachame Ahiwale Koni Amewa Ketra Fund Ngongo Bona fe ni Ghana bi ni Helaimingba Mina Anuhi Kena Shikawa Mune ise Eke nibi mone for dram Emily ni ete gamanche kinta kita ekochu niji enyo no saramo Obobia Daku Opoku ke Majachame awamo hibanya ketra no nehi ngongo bonafeni esheme fe nisano.
To come. We believe that by the end of this presentation, Your Royal Majesty will have a full appreciation of the journey we have begun and the impact we hope to make for the people of Ghana. Your Royal Majesty, although the Ghana Medical Trust Fund is a national institution, we recognize that its success depends greatly on trusted leaders like yourself. Traditional authorities remain the closest bridge between public institutions and the people. Your voice carries authority, your counsel commands respect, and your influence reaches communities that government alone cannot easily reach. We therefore humbly seek your blessings, your guidance, and your partnership. We hope that through your support, the people of the Ghana state will become ambassadors of this initiative, helping us spread awareness and ensuring that those who qualify for support know where to turn to.
Wabada mushemo neno ni wofu weke wakuose wakeshika kejawa ilisa je babani. Kachiwe.
How can we do some local fast food? Mama, me again. Let's go, Yale. Me call you, ma'am. Who hear me? Me and sent my friend doctor when I'm crossing over. See what we swear.
She has malaria.
Hey, malaria. Oh, what they say with the router? Me copy the absence here. A drone a friend router mix. You come malaria draw and running router. So.
Trap and the draw ku abaso body ase wabo ruta mixture abaso ruta natural products nduane ne ruta mixture ya yedi kutie atridi ruta tonic and ruta life wa ehuru efin ne srade bone efin nipadua mu na support immune system no ruta de obi ase ye FDA age dwede nkrato ya tu.
Shida Klejo no akahoyo biye Mbn Adafitswaa no Reno kabaje nshi shika Kedra Ii Sajam nie Governor Kehaga na shikato hewulu niji Bank of Ghana Dr. Johnson Isiama mincha Kehagbeja no to ilo hebu nimni wala ni banye akudo nichumoi ni shikasajin efe basa keji abawa me bona fe ni menfe ni yeyom nie ana hebuleko.
A disciplined rescue framework can preserve viable businesses while protecting financial stability. So let me make 3 points here. First, that rescue must begin with a credible test of viability. Rescue must begin with a credible test of viability. A business may be distressed without being fundamentally unviable. A cash flow shock, changing market conditions, or a mismatch between receivables and obligations, these may place a sound business under severe pressure. So during restructuring, it may need financing.
Nanu akabagbe na yeshika Kedra Ii Sajam lie amralo ewie ake ameminye concession arrangements kose kechake Volta Lake kefelek befa Kedra Ii oti low transport and industrial corridor kefata modembo kebachi shikasajin ke ahie ye 24-hour economy ni femo shishi ye riemomni ye ni femo shishi Presidential advisor ye 24-hour economy ni femo no anunyamo gusi tano ke neke ni femo na egbekpa moji ake ebagbala investments keje anko ni chumokui ade neji private sector ni egbele ni chumo igbe na agbe ne hwe ewo ni chumo short ye ahiwale kebolima.
We recognize that the Volta Lake waterway harnesses a huge potential to transform the Ghanaian economy. And in fact, this was the original conception of our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He didn't only propose that we have a power plant and a dam on the lake, but actually to use that as a leverage to transform that area into a major industrial and agricultural hub. So what we're doing today is mainly a fulfillment of that dream. And you also know that by the law constituting DRA, they were given a mandate in terms of jurisdiction over what happens around the lake, near the lake, and also structured in such a way that whatever happens does not interfere with the power production. So through our work in the 24-hour economy, recognizing the vast potential of this waterway, we went to Cabinet and got approval to begin to discuss with VRA, in partnership with GIFT, who are infrastructure partners, the development of the Volta Economic Corridor through concessioning some of VRA's non-power assets, in particular the opportunity to develop the lake transport system as a multimodal transport system and move potentially 8 million tons of cargo along the lake from north to south, east to west, and also develop the agroecological parks and industrial parks along the shoreline. So what we're doing today is working with DRA in partnership with GIF to provide a structure and framework for concessioning the various aspects of the 24-hour program that allows them to crowd in private investment to develop the lake multimodal transport system, the agro parks, as well as the industrial parks, create jobs, add value, and allow us also to develop a major impact in terms of exports, not only through the Tema port, but also to the Sahel, to Burkina Faso and Mali, because it's also a regional transit corridor. So through that, we'll be able then to also provide trade leverage and facilitation into the Sahel, Mali, Burkina, even in some cases to Guinea as well as to other Sahelian countries. So what we're doing is basically to put a framework to that ambitions and that objective. And what we are going to do today is what we call the Master Concession Agreement. That will then define the framework which we will begin to implement the cabinet approval. Whatever we do, VRA will be there, GIF will be there, 24 will be there to enable and facilitate private sector investment in an orderly fashion and in a way that ultimately benefits the people who live along the lake, the communities on the islands, the communities onshore, and also provide also a new corridor for Ghanaian industry to thrive, develop, and a new system of agriculture that is modernized, that depends on irrigation, year-round agricultural cultivation. Because only 5% of Ghana's arable land is cultivated, and that's a big shame. And one of the ways in which we want to address that is to use the lake as an important artery for developing these parks that then use irrigation for year-round production of vegetables, of maize.
Obada Moshemo Neno ni wafu weke waku wose wako nye bacho manse kunu wako nete no yejeme. Nunu kwa jinshi kegbina ewo nagbi shemo niji manse sanjam liye Pakistan ma eto mlai lo na chi gbajano to ihe ashishin kenshwe gboy Adafitswaa lo international reporting no na nefani onupa ike ba wa kekudo manse Adafitswaa shi no na ejino kome na yawele na agbai anoye Adafitswaa ni minshe yeli low press freedom advocate satin Pakistan ma kefodra mlai lo gbajano to ihe ni ba kudo Adafitswaa ku ishoto ni minchuni ya amemano ye amemlalo gbajano to ihe ashishe mansa Adafitswaa ke Adafitswaa ku he ni media outlet se ba ni na gbajano to ike mlai ni mliwala kenko ame reporting ke he ya ni access he no nupa mi wie ake ne kacha ke mo ne he ya ke hani ewo ameni amni nkomo ke hwehwehwe namo ke ha ma amni he wale Neke na nifane agbala unhu ke wiemo shortly keje press freedom groups alo Adafitswaa ku shortly ade ni ameriemo eji ake na chiniji restrictions ne keji akwe ni abagbajo mi fiwe ebe agba me ni chumona na agbene hue enga ni amena higbe ke ya he ko menisa na me ashashai ni femo ni ehia shiye ni family amralomli onupai ni ojemeke Neke gbajano to ine ahihia jogba ndenche ejake ebawa na Adafitswaa nuchumo anye afe pepepe na agbene hue ebuma afabanfo yi Neke gbajano to ine agbala kada agbamo kenko Adafitswaa kui aheyeli ye Pakistan he ni manse ni amninkwelo imindi nonese ke kwahe ni poten ni manse Adafitswaa ku ke ni femoe ke agbene Adafitswaa aheyeli ni press independent se bashe Yo abladi abibe bia jiheni beba ngwe ogbeni woke shane na shemo yawa shidani wabaya anye hawa kwa oti ye ni jipuye shemo ya mi ekowun Maye nyelo mahama epia Jamaica reparatory justice ni femo yise Kenya sa ni femo di enche nye eha King Charles ni ji eteno Ye shika kejara yili sajamniye. Ghana shika to he wulu elo Bank of Ghana governor ewo shi keshi ni chumoy. Ni shika sajinfe efite ni ehi he noko femo wamo loji mo. Ni ye manse sajamni hwe Pakistan kenachi efo Manse Adafitswaa Ii dichumo niji media reporting no. Mimoni geshe mwe banyegbe no shani neji naja modote kefi ofiche dromo obakpe wo shani nekebi amni no nye wala don kebe ni nye yike kwa